I think I found my new passion in life, people. It's yelling at the parents of childhood stars on the internet. And boy, is it amusing. This week, we're verbally spanking lactacious parents over the internet. Join me next week when I take on all of the dance moms at once.
Process begin.
I would like to preface this by saying I have absolutely no problem inherently with drag queens. I also don't mind letting kids play dress up for any gender. None of that is my business. However, what I fully believe to be my business is when you take your kid out of their home and bedroom closet and parade them around in public wearing provocative clothing and maybe, I don't know, have them pose with naked grown-ass men for a magazine to make a statement. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Children have no business being used by others for their social or political activism, or for that matter, for their financial gains. And shame on you if you think that using children as pawns to be served up on the world stage for all of us assholes on the internet is in any way justifiable. That being said, let's get into getting pissed off. Queen Lactatia. What life is like as a child drag queen. We need to talk about Nemes. As Queen Lactatia, Nemes Quinn Melancon Golden is taking the world of drag by storm. We speak with him and his mother about the highs and lows of finding stardom at just 10 years old. As I've said before, I find the concept of childhood stars in any capacity to be a tried and failed experiment. It's a simple equation, really. Parents will take a young, impressionable child and manipulate them with the promise of glory, fame, cool new stuff, a world of excitement and adventure. But the kid, they believe their parents. That this candy-coated, all-too-good-to-be-true world is, in fact, true. Because, of course it has to be. Their parents could never possibly steer them in the wrong direction. How could they? They're parents. They're meant to care for their children in every way possible, and to never put them in harm's way, and to protect them from all the evils of the world for as long as feasibly possible. Except, at this point, I think it's safe to say that everyone should know better. This kid's name is Nemes. He's 10, and in the drag queen world, he goes by the name Queen Lactatia. From his mother, quote, "We didn't really bat an eyelash. She's one of the most creative, curious, magical kids. At some point, he saw that girls' clothes were a little bit fancier than boys, and wearing girls' clothes seemed to fit the kind of kid that he was." I have no problem with kids playing dress up. Frankly, though, I don't think that's the central issue most people have with childhood drag kids. I think it goes a little bit beyond that. This all started in 2017 when the whole family attended a drag show in Montreal where the kid did a thing that, because it's current era, of course, was caught on video, and of course it went viral. Here's that video.
Let's try this again. Lactatia, who is your favorite drag queen?
Told me to say that.
This is how long I've been doing drag. I was just about to say, let's get this kid a shot. Lactatia, I absolutely adore you, and this is brilliant, and I love the fact that you're here, and what I love most about this is that your mom is here with you, supporting you. Is that correct? And that's amazing, and I'm going to tell you this. The brilliant thing about all of this is that there's opportunity and there's world to come to you, and I want you to share.
That video happened and everyone went crazy, but we knew from the get-go we never wanted to lose control or lose sight of it being fun for Nemes. So, the kid was 8 years old at the time, been experimenting with this stuff for a bit, and the article goes to say, for both mother and child, performing felt like a natural progression. Translation: the mom thought that she could extend her son's 15 minutes of fame just a little bit longer. Not a lot of 8-year-old kids think that to themselves. Hey, I want to do this cool thing for the entertainment of others, so let's capitalize on my 15 minutes of fame. I don't think that they have those thoughts or can feasibly capitalize on 15 minutes of fame. But that's just me. I've never been able to capitalize on 15 minutes of fame. Quote, "There's a video somewhere of me lip-syncing to Ariana Grande in a pink tutu when I was 6. Drag isn't a thing you imagine a child to do, but we don't care what people say." You don't care what people say to you? Nemes, do you know what people are capable of saying? Do you even have a full grasp of the English vocabulary and vernacular that can insult people? Does this kid know what all of the forbidden words are. Not just the childhood forbidden words like shut up and shit. How about the birds and the bees? Does he know anything about that? Does he get the concept of people hating him so deeply on the internet that they want to, I don't know, perhaps say, cut out his tongue? Nemes, do you know what the internet is? Truly. If you do, that is very unfortunate for you. But as for your parents, what the absolute frick is wrong with you, you numbskulls? Allowing the world unmitigated access to your child's life online is in such a way that will feasibly make him a target to others. And if you think I'm just being hyperbolic, that—
Oh, Weebo, why on earth do you think that simply putting on makeup and dancing on stage in a provocative manner will result in shenanigans?
Then aren't you in for a treat? The article goes on to talk about how Canada is progressive unlike the rest of the world, citing examples such as, in the UK this year, 14-year-old Lewis Bailey was banned from performing his drag act at a school's end-of-the-year talent show. But it gets a little bit more serious than that. In this, quote, the case of Thapelo Makutel, a South African drag queen reportedly beheaded in her bed after an argument with two heterosexual men about her gender, is just one grisly example of the very real danger that drag artists can face around the world. This is why on earth, parents, why would you let a 10-year-old engage in such behavior on such a viral scale if there's such a very real danger drag artists can face? This is how Nemes chooses to express himself, says Jess combatively. He's just a kid playing. Yes, he might just be a kid playing, but he's playing on the world stage. And for some other people, they take shit way too seriously. For anyone's comfort, frankly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. He's just a kid playing, and now he's a trendsetter and a beacon to people, an ideal for people to push politically. He's always going to be Lactatia the drag queen from that moment onwards, and that will follow him for the rest of his life, whether he grows out of this phase or he doesn't. And if that doesn't seem like a bad thing, let me tell you about Jake Lloyd, young Anakin Skywalker, who was 8 at the time that the prequels were in swing. Jake Lloyd, quote, my entire school life was really a living hell, and I had to do up to 60 interviews a day. Other children were really mean to me. They would make the sound of the lightsaber every time they saw me. It was totally mad. Look, I'm not trying to say that we should make bullying people on the internet illegal and we should start regulating free speech to such an extent. What I'm getting at here is all of these dominoes, they all fell into place to make a perfect storm for these kids. And they did so at an impressionable age when they weren't fully ready to understand the implications of such a drastic life change. That is the issue. They don't know what they're getting into. And how could they? They're 8 and 10. Quote from his mother again, Jess, there is so much more going on in the world right now which is more horrifying and terrifying than my child wearing fancy shoes and a skirt. This shouldn't be on anyone's list of priorities. It's not about your kid wearing fancy shoes and skirts. It's this bullshit, Jess. This picture right here. It's not the wigs and the hairspray that's the problem. It's Desmond is amazing performing his childhood drag act at a strip club for singles from grown-ass men. It's pushing a political message and people using your child to do such a thing. Ben Shapiro, alt-right mouthpiece and fierce critic of child drag queens, argues the drag performances sexualize children. I wonder why he would argue that. Blah, 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 reductionist jab at Ben, and then the fear of sexualizing children too early feels like a legitimate one. Good start, but then we get this. Should any child of any gender be encouraged to project themselves in a sexual manner? No! Full stop. Drag is an adult arena, and that's where people question our judgment, so we have to censor things. He knows there are adult aspects of drag that he's not allowed to apply to his show. Oh, but he is allowed to pose with a naked man with nothing but a thin covering of fabric on said man's genitals. Oh wait, it's okay because they censored the guy's penis. It's all good then, right? We would never try to overtly sexualize our child, but if he wears something that makes him feel beautiful, what right do we have to stop him wearing that dress because it might cause some people to think things they shouldn't be thinking? It's a circular problem. Jess, you have every right to keep your child safe and make responsible parental decisions. It is absolutely your right because you're his parent, lady. Quote from Nemes, I think people are becoming more supportive about drag queens, he said. The world has advanced a lot, especially around drag culture and gender. I just really enjoy entertaining people in any way, dancing, singing, making them laugh. And I bet you that literally every single girl in Toddlers and Tiaras, on Dance Moms, and on the Disney Channel, or what have you, thought that it was a hell of an experience until it suddenly wasn't one day. And the implications that they just squandered the decision to be out of the public spotlight at an early age and could no longer escape that identity seeped in. If you like what I'm doing here, feel free to check out the links in the description to my Amazon, Patreon, and PayPal links, and the link to my Redbubble store where you can find unique exclusive Weebo merchandise. My P.O. box can also be found below if you'd like to send me stuff in the mail. Maybe if you don't like me that much, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to hit that bell so you actually get notified, because YouTube hates everybody. Now, if you want to see more of me, maybe in a different capacity, I have a second channel dedicated to the entertainment industry and reviewing all things that come from them, called Weebo Incognito. If you like my review of Titan Season 1, be sure to subscribe to that channel for more that caliber content. I also do a D&D themed stream show every Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Friday from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Magog of Morscar's second channel called Side Quest. Check that out if you're into roleplay and banter. In addition to that, I also do a bi-weekly stream show about the news with segments for advice, call-ins, fanfiction read-throughs, and more Sundays and Wednesdays from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on some dumb Americans channel called Two Girls One Stream. Links to all that jazz down in the description down below. So I'm just about to go to bed, but before I do that, guess what time it is? Package time. Just one today, but it's fine. And it's not as complicated to open as the other ones have been. So that's good. Okay, I have the notes. Under siege by those who think you're above the law, make an exclusive decision with maximum conviction. You'll need a glimmer man who's out for justice. Cheers, 6. And what have we got here today? Steven Seagal CD. Songs from the Crystal Cave. I didn't know Steven Seagal made music. I thought he was just an action movie guy. I learn something new every day. Alright, so that's it for this week. Gloriously short, and I didn't get any paper cuts, so that's good. I'm gonna go to bed. Take off my face. Lay down. And then I'll film something in the morning for you guys. Peace. Thank you, Sixie.